I think Garrison Liara. And at the last cutscene, Liara got out of that ship on the planet. What the hell?
Oh, and for me, for the last cutscene, it just showed the door open slightly in someone's hand, then it ended.
Liara and Joker got out of the ship.
Wow, that must mean you fucking sucked at that game.
I think I did.
How many war assets did you have?
Well, the first time I played through, I didn't really go for war assets. The second time, I uploaded my Mass Effect 2 character, and I went for quite a few of them.
Well, I had like 4,500. Hey, one question. You know how like you got your war assets and you hit like the trigger or something and it flips over like the red space thing?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that for?
That's for multiplayer, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
It's the galactic readiness. No, I had my galactic's readiness up to like 100% because I played the multiplayer by myself. I would start a party with only me in it, and then I would play the multiplayer by myself to get my galactic readiness up, and it was fucking impossible because I couldn't go down at all. Had my galactic readiness 100%, like 6,000 war assets accumulated over all 3 games, alright? And I was fucking sitting there, and the ending that I got would have been exactly the same unless I had chosen to blow up the Reapers. Which I didn't. I chose Synthesis, because if you think about it, Synthesis is the only ending in which anything actually interesting happens.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you fucking control the Reapers, they go away. And then you're like, oh, cool, the Reapers went away. If you fucking blow up the Reapers, and you're like, oh, cool, the Reapers blow up. You do Synthesis, you fuse organic and synthetic life. You just, like, force them to merge together in an holy amalgamation, and you're like, no, that one, because that's the interesting one, where interesting stuff happens. Alright?
Which, isn't that what the Reapers were already pretty much doing?
Well, they were grinding you up into fucking fish paste and then putting you in their
But they said they were preserving you in Reaper form.
And their big dick robot. What?
The primary difference is that what the Reapers do isn't to preserve the entire, like, fucking individual. It's not to preserve each person and the society and the culture. It's literally just to take all of the genetic material and force it into a giant robot. Basically, each Reaper, which also, this is another thing that pisses me off, in one, they make it very clear that the Reapers showed up, killed all the Protheans, left. Like, that's how it went down. Showed up, killed, left.
Genocide.
Like, instantly. Like, fucking overnight, they just swarmed everywhere, murdered everyone. Alright? Then in 2, they're like, okay, well, maybe, like, they fucking invaded, and then there was, like, a little bit of a war, and then the Reapers murdered everyone, and they hid. Fucking 3 is straight up like, so the Reapers invaded, and then there were a couple of centuries of war, and we're like, hang on. If there were a couple of centuries of war in between the initial invasion, here's another thing. They make it kind of apparent that some of the early pre-developed races were being observed by the Protheans. But the thing is that implies that the Reapers will leave a race alone if it has not reached, like, a certain level of advancement.
That's what the Catalyst said, yeah.
Here's the problem. 1, there were evidence of non-sapient species that were extincted by the Reapers. In 2, there was evidence of species that had been developing, but then were destroyed by the Reapers. In 3, it makes it very obvious that by the time the Reapers invaded the Protheans...
Good afternoon, staff. Just to let you know, that lunch will be served at 12:26. See you in the cafeteria at 12:26.
Basically, the Reapers were like, fuck you to everybody. They didn't really care about technology back then, if there was that centuries of war.
Hang on. According to Javek, who is a living Prothean, and a ruin you find on some boondocks-ass planet, it implies that humanity was at about, what's the stage of development? It's the one where we were wandering around in, like, fucking tribal communities, wandering about.
Cro-Magnon.
We were in that while the Protheans were still, like, at their peak. And then, like, furthermore, it implies that there was this giant fucking galactic war going on, murdering a whole bunch of people, just like genociding thousands upon thousands of millions of people, which is a really weird way to look at it, but still. Point being here is all these fucking people are getting murdered across all these different systems. Meanwhile, fucking humans are still wandering around like,
oh, let us grasp basic concepts of civilization here. Oh, build house here and then keep house constant instead of moving everywhere. Grow, plant, and keep goat.
you know? Like, we were fucking reaching that stage while there was a giant intergalactic war going on.
That's what I didn't like about Mass Effect. The only thing was that it jumped around too much, like with the storylines for the past and stuff, and the fucking century gap there was like, what the fuck did the Reapers do in the past? Fuck that.
Which means, like, literally, once upon a time, there was a Reaper who was just, like, sitting there, genocide, it's so wonderful, and he was